Nobody's going to throw you a parade for getting rich quietly. No viral moment, no luxury unboxing, no Instagram post with the caption, "We made it." Just one day, you're sitting in a room full of people trying to look wealthy, and you realize you actually are. And nobody in that room has any idea. This video is about how that happens, not the highlight reel version, the quiet version. Because the people winning with money right now aren't the ones you're watching, they're the ones you're not even noticing. Let's start with a scene you probably recognize. Someone pulls up in a new car, lease probably, everyone looks, someone else drops the name of their new watch, Rolex, everyone nods. And you're standing there in plain clothes, driving a 7-year-old sedan, wearing a watch from Amazon. And for a second, just a second, something in your brain says, "Am I doing this wrong?" That feeling has a name. Psychologists call it social comparison theory. Your brain is constantly scanning the room and ranking you. And the problem is, your brain is really bad at this, because it ranks based on what it can see. The car, the watch, the outfit, the confidence, it processes those signals and spits out a ranking, and you end up feeling behind. But here's what that ranking system completely misses. Net worth has no dress code. The guy in the Rolex might be financing it on a credit card with a 24% interest rate. The woman in the designer bag might have $200 in her checking account. You don't see that, nobody does, because wealth, real wealth, doesn't make noise. And that's the first shift you have to make. Stop using visibility as a proxy for value. Just because someone looks like they're winning doesn't mean they are. In fact, most of the time, the loudest person in the room is the one working hardest to convince themselves. There's a term for this. Thomas Stanley, the researcher behind The Millionaire Next Door, called it big hat, no cattle. All image, no substance, and America specifically has built an entire economy around selling you the hat. Ads, influencers, financing options, buy now, pay later, all of it designed to make you look the part before you've earned it. The quiet millionaire sees through all of it, not because they're smarter, because they made one decision early that changed everything. That one decision is this: they stopped paying for perception. Not in a dramatic way, no big announcement, no minimalist manifesto. They just quietly stopped spending money to manage what other people thought of them. And that single shift, stopped spending on image, freed up more wealth-building power than any side hustle or salary raise ever could. The average American spends somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000 a year on things they don't need just to signal status. Clothes they won't wear, cars they can't afford, subscriptions that make them feel productive without actually being productive. That's not a lifestyle, that's a performance, and performances are expensive. Now run that number through a basic compound interest calculator. $2,000 a year, invested at 10% average market return for 30 years. That's over $360,000 from stopping the performance alone. Not from a raise, not from a business, just from closing the gap between what you earn and what you spend trying to look like you earn more. This is what the quiet millionaire understands at a bone-deep level. Every dollar you spend on image is a dollar that will never work for you. Money has one superpower: it's not spending, it's not even saving, it's compounding, and compounding only works when you leave it alone. But here's the psychological trap most people fall into, and this is the part nobody talks about. It's not that people don't know compound interest exists. Everyone's seen the charts, everyone's heard the speech. The problem is that compound interest is invisible, and status symbols are very, very visible. Your brain is wired to respond to immediate social rewards. A new car gets you looks in the parking lot today. A brokerage account gets you nothing you can show anyone for a decade. So your brain, running on ancient hardware, keeps choosing the car. This is called hyperbolic discounting. You discount the value of future rewards the further away they are. $100 today feels worth more than $150 in a year, even though the math says take the 150. Wealthy people aren't immune to this, they've just built systems that override it. They automate their investments before they touch their paycheck. They remove the decision entirely. because they know if they have to choose between investing and spending every single month, spending will win most of the time. The hoodie isn't a fashion choice, it's a firewall. When you stop caring what the room thinks of your clothes, you stop making financial decisions based on the room, and that's where the real separation begins. Think about the last time you bought something primarily because of how it would look to someone else. A car upgrade, a nicer apartment than you needed, dinner at a restaurant that was slightly out of budget because the occasion felt like it required it. None of those decisions were really about you. They were about the audience in your head. The quiet millionaire has a smaller audience, or no audience at all. And when you remove the audience, your financial decisions get dramatically simpler. You buy what works, you invest what's left, you repeat until the math takes over. That's not deprivation, that's leverage. Because here's what's happening on the other side of that discipline. While everyone else is performing wealth, you are actually building it. Quietly, invisibly, in index funds and emergency accounts and paid-off cars and boring, unglamorous net worth. And one day you walk into a room, same hoodie, same sedan in the parking lot, and you are, by every real measure, the wealthiest person there. And nobody knows, and that's exactly how you want it. But let's go one level deeper, because stopping the performance is the first move. The second move is understanding where your money actually needs to go. Most people treat their finances like a leftover system. They earn, they spend, and whatever's left, if anything's left, they think about saving. The quiet millionaire flips that completely. They pay themselves first, before the rent math, before the grocery run, before the weekend plans. A percentage of every paycheck moves automatically into an index fund, a retirement account, a high-yield savings account before they ever see it. And then they live on what remains. This sounds simple, it is simple, but simple is not the same as easy, because it requires you to make a one-time decision to trust the system over your own impulses. And most people never make that decision, not because they can't, because nobody modeled it for them. They grew up watching adults stress about money, watching parents fight over bills, watching people treat a tax refund like a windfall instead of their own money being returned to them. So they inherited a scarcity mindset dressed up as normal. The quiet millionaire inherited something different, or they chose to unlearn what they inherited, and they replaced it with one operating principle. Make the money move before the temptation arrives. Automate a percentage, increase it every time your income goes up. Never lifestyle inflate faster than your investment rate grows. And then this is the part people underestimate, you wait. Not passively, not lazily, you keep working, you keep learning, you keep earning, but you stop checking your portfolio every day looking for excitement. Because wealth at this level isn't exciting, it's quiet. It's a number that grows slowly, then faster than you expected, then in a way that genuinely surprises you. That's compounding, and it rewards patience more than intelligence, more than income, more than any strategy you'll find in a YouTube comment section. The person who started at 22 with $200 a month and never stopped beats the person who waited until 35 to start with $1,000 a month. Every time, the math is not close. Time is the only input in this equation that money cannot buy back, and most people spend it performing for a room that isn't even paying attention.